Listen, dear. There's something in this world that's far more precious than money. Your friends. Don't forget that.
Where are we? Is everyone okay?
Hello, boys and girls! Let's play!
Who the hell is that?
Yo, what's up everybody? It's your boy Reggie here, back with you for another video, and today I'm here to talk about a very exciting series, a very relatively new series that I found, and I'm excited to talk about it as I want to review season 1 and talk about why I think it's a good series for everyone to start watching. And the name of that amazing series is Tomodachi Games. Now, Tomodachi Games is a very interesting series that falls within the death game genre of anime. To try and provide an example of what Tomodachi Games as a series is like, it's kind of like the anime version of Squid Games mixed with some Sherlock Holmes / Death Note. But unlike other death series genres, instead of killing people and testing their will to survive, Tomodachi Games tests a group of friends and tests how true and strong their friendship bond is. Tomodachi Games is based around 5 main characters. Our main character, Yoriichi, Tenji, Shiho, Makoto, and Yutori. Now, these 5 friends early on in the first episode are talking and hanging out with each other and talk about how they are the best of friends and nothing could get in between their strong bond, or so we think. The Tomodachi Games story begins when our 5 main characters are all supposed to be going on this school trip with the rest of their class. Everybody in the class provided $700 to make a total of $20,000 for the school trip. Now, this money was supposed to be guarded by Shiho that she put in her locker and locked for safekeeping. Now, the next day, the $20,000 is gone. Everybody in the class is trying to figure out where the money went and who took the money. So the clear and obvious sign would be Shiho, since she's the one who put the money in her locker, but she's the one who finds out that her locker door was open. So the money's gone and missing, and everyone's really upset that they weren't able to go on this school trip anymore. Now, later on that night, our 5 characters all get a message sent by another person within the group. So each one of our characters goes to meet that person who sent the message on the school grounds. Now, when they get to the school grounds, they find out that each person saying that they didn't actually write the message that was sent to the other person. So now all 5 of our characters start to become suspicious. But then out of nowhere, they all get abducted and kidnapped, and then by the time that they wake up, they get transported into this all-white room. And it is at this time we get introduced to by far the most entertaining character of the entire show, Manabu. Now, when the characters wake up, they are clearly outraged, and Manabu is there pretty much making fun of them the entire time. And they're obviously outraged, saying that they've been kidnapped and they're gonna go to the police if they don't let them go. Now, Manabu says they're all free to go, but he gives them a caveat. So apparently, one of the friends was actually 20 million yen in debt. Now, 20 million yen in USD is about $145,000. So it's a lot of money. So one of their friends is in debt, and if they all decide to just leave right now, that person will be in debt for the rest of their life. But if they really are friends and want to help out their friend, they would all take the money, divide it up between them evenly, and then they can play a series of games where they can decrease the amount of debt that they have. So then they could have that friend, who at this point in the series, we don't know who that friend is, they can have that friend reduce the debt and leave the games and continue to be friends and go happy together. Now, in true anime fashion, these 5 friends decide to use the power of friendship to get through these games and hopefully keep their friendship intact, while also helping out this secret friend who is 20 million yen in debt. Now, Manabu also tells them there is a caveat to the games, where if they win the games, they decrease their debt, hopefully getting it to zero and actually have a chance to win money. But if they lose the games, they increase the amount of debt that they have, a debt that would be impossible to pay off before they're almost dead. They'd essentially be in debt for the rest of their lives paying off the games. And this is where Tomodachi Games became very interesting for me, because in the first game, unlike many other death game series, this show isn't about death. It isn't about killing people and having them betray each other in that sense. What it is about testing friendships. And this is where it gets interesting, because all of the characters have incentives to actually backstab each other within the games. So within the very first game, we realize that if one of the characters betrays their friendship, they can actually reduce their own personal amount of debt while the others still keep the same. So now each of the characters doesn't know, is one of them trying to decrease their debt and leave all the debt on another person? Now it gets into these people backstabbing each other, not knowing who to trust. And this is where the psychological aspect of Tomodachi Games really shines. And in comes our main character, Yorichi. Now, Yorichi is one of those super smart OP type where he's like a mix of Detective Conan, Light, and Shikamaru all in one. Now, the show's highlights is the games. The games are actually very interesting. The games are designed to test their friendship, so it's very easy to backstab and betray one another. So Yorichi is out here trying to figure out what's the secrets of the game, who's the backstabbers, and how to get everyone to win and leave there pretty much safe and sound. Now, what's interesting about Tomodachi is pretty much the plot twist. Unfortunately, just like a lot of death game series where you have a super smart, overpowered character, there's not much to the idea of, is he going to survive? Is he going to win? That's not the interesting part, because you know he is. The interesting part is how he does it. Now, the Tomodachi Games, other than the best character in the show, Manabu, has these game viewers pretty much being the eyes for the viewers within the show. They come in to explain certain things such as the psychologies of human beings, which actually is really interesting in the show because it breaks down the psychology of humans, as in humans are self-preserving, the idea of why we make friendships, how ones will backstab each other if they're fighting for resources or trying to survive, and most likely will help one another when they have an abundance of resources, and it wouldn't hurt them regardless. Tomodachi Games really breaks down the psychology of human beings and why they do certain things, and that's one of the really interesting parts of the show. Now, it's a mental chess type series, which makes it very entertaining. You're always interested in what's going to happen next. You're always interested in how Yorichi is going to beat this game's bad guy. And then you have Manabu in the back, pretty much just teasing and fucking with all of them on a mental level. It is amazing. He is by far the best character in the show. Now for the bad parts of Tomodachi Games. Unfortunately, like I said earlier, Tomodachi Games is a tad predictable. The reason why is because the stakes of the show are so high with the millions upon millions of dollars that these people are racking in debt. Unfortunately, you know that Yorichi is going to win and then they're going to pass to the next games. So a lot of times when it comes to series like this, it can be kind of predictable. Also, the game viewers in the main office of the Tomodachi Games are oftentimes over explaining throughout the series. The series does a lot of tell and not show. So oftentimes a character will do something intelligent or is watching another character blatantly lie, and then you have these people in the back being like, oh my god, he just lied to her and she realized it. And the viewing audience can understand that just by seeing. We didn't need someone to explain that to us. So unfortunately, the game viewers in the back often over explain things that the viewers can pretty much just pick on their own. While finally, The last bad thing I can say about the show is Yorichi is too overpowered. He's too intelligent, where a lot of the other people in the show don't really give him too much of a challenge. Honestly, the reason why he doesn't succeed more in the games is because his friends are for the most part holding him back. He is one of those overpowered characters where the only way to pull back his abilities is by throwing in a couple of useless people to try and hold him back. Now, beyond the bad of the series, I talked about a lot of the good as well. And one of the major good parts that I could say about Tomodachi Games is, honestly, I think it is an interesting show. The breakdown and psychological aspects of the show, breaking down human psychology, watching the characters piece certain puzzles together, the mental chess games and gymnastics that these characters go through trying to outsmart each other is the best parts of the show. And it really tries to help break down the human mind, even for the viewer to understand, which again is super interesting. This show, I think, does something that a lot of the death series don't do, where a lot of the times the games are usually based off death and luck and can sometimes be gory unnecessarily. This show breaks down the psychology of humans and how they work within interpersonal dynamics. Now, in the anime, Tomodachi Games Season 1 has recently ended, and Season 2 is on the way, and I'm very excited for it. Tomodachi Games is like anime Squid Games, although it came out before. I know that a lot of the Squid Games people and a lot of the Tomodachi fans argue between which is better, and Tomodachi Games came out first, so Squid Games might have copied Tomodachi Games, even though Squid Games is a little bit different than Tomodachi Games. But irregardless of all that, if you enjoyed Squid Games, I believe you would love Tomodachi Game. My hopes for this video is that you guys can see and maybe get a little better of an understanding of this new series, Tomodachi Games, and give it a chance. But other than that, I have nothing left for this video, so peace!